Let's take a look at how to make a hand. So for hand, I'm going to go to the front view and I'm going to start with a cube. So we're going to make hand separately and then later on we're going to attach it to our wrist. So for this one, I'm going to have this cube lined up somewhere around here. Ignore a thumb in the beginning, just focus on the finger. Okay, so placing it right where the wrist is, I'm going to go to top view to at least match that area. So let's say, so we get at least the right amount of width. Now to add fingers, I'm going to go into multi-cut and start adding more edges. So since there are 4 fingers, so I'm going to go do one in the center right here, and let's do one here and one right about here. Okay, so now before we do any fingers, let's make this area round. So I'm going to grab all these faces right from here to here. So from here to here, edit mesh, circleize. From this side is expanding too much, so we scale only in one direction to match it as close we can to the wrist, somewhere around here. So I'll grab this edge. Same thing I'm going to do circleize. That's the shelf button for circleize. Click on that, and same way we're going to scale this one also vertically. So here we go this way, and then a little bit area up here. Alright, now we really close to the fingers here. Now let's make one finger and then we can copy over the same finger onto the other fingers. So we're gonna go into multi-cut. So I just wanted to add from here to here, enter, from here to here, and so on, and the last one going from here to here. So let's start with a middle finger. Grab these 4 faces and I'm going to extrude it out, a tiny bit extrude, and circleize it. There you go. And right after circleizing, you wanted to set kind of basic shape for the finger, which would be more like not 100% circle, something like that should be good enough. And now right after this, the next part is going to be extrude this one all the way till the end, till the length of the finger. So for that one, I'm going to go to the side view. Now I can already see that this character's fingers are pretty long. So I'm going to grab this and put it up to the center point here and rotate it. So, and this area need to be pulled up a bit, and so as goes for this one. And let's make this one wide enough, so kind of roughly matches character's hand size here. So here we are. Okay, so now going back at those faces, extrude one more time, and we're gonna pull this one away. Alright, so now next one is I wanted to make this top area a little bit flatter than the bottom one. Select these two. I wanted to change my or axis orientation type from object to components. Here we go. Component works the best here, so that way I can scale these to make these fingers a little bit flat from the top. There we go. So I wanted to add one more edge here. Okay, so now let's make a nail, and then we'll add all the middle edges as well. So going back to the perspective view and selecting these, so these two, and now extrude. Now after extrude, give this one a little bit offset. So I'm gonna say really small offset, something like this is good enough. Now after the offset, you wanted to do second extrude, and the second extrude also give tiny offset. So this would be also really small, like even smaller than that. And now the second one, rotate, make one side deeper, and second one make it look like it's coming up from this side, and that's where you can extrude a nail out. So I'm gonna grab this area and we can hit extrude third time, and I'm gonna pull this one out straight from, it's good to do from this right view, or actually from the front view would be better, because we want that nail to be coming out straight. Here we go. So a little bit more. Now this is exactly based on how much you wanted to extrude that, but now you know how to pull that out. Object mode. Okay, so now after the nail, now let's add the middle areas. Now first check knuckles, which we wanted to place these at the correct positions. Now to add the middle areas, I'm going to go into, let's say, adding multi-cut, and let's add one in the middle on each. So I'm going to add one in the middle here, one here, and one here. So, and these three are going to help us get that little puff in this area. Okay, so along with this, now all these knuckles, like joints at each finger, we wanted to have 3 edges. That's going to be really helpful later on when you wanted to bend them in the rigging section. So here we go, 3 in here, 3 from here, like wherever finger is bending, give 3, so we know they're going to turn back that direction. And now on these areas on the top part, so I'm going to grab these faces, 1 2 3 4, and I'm going to do extrude again, and this time let's do offset and a little bit more, like that's good enough. And with that offset, I'm gonna hit W and pull this out a bit, something like this. That's good enough. And same way I'm gonna do it over here, 1 2 3 and 4, and let's do extrude. And third one would be over here, which also we're gonna be doing very soon. Okay, so that's pretty much this side of the finger. Now going from the top view, at knuckles we wanted to scale this using soft selection. Now why? So it would allow us to add some gradient, and soft selection is B key, and then with the B and left mouse button we can control the radius. And I'm going to go back to perspective and scale this one to the side here, so that one looks a little bit larger than the other. And this one, let's pull it back, so this one will right from the middle, actually from the side here, not from the middle, and that one going back in. So it has this shape wherever, because that's where the joints are. Wherever there are joint, that area is going to be a little bit bigger. Alright, so once you're here, then we're going to add a couple more edges on this side. I'm going to turn multi-cut with edge flow this time, and hold control and middle mouse here to add at 50%, and let's add one in here, and that should be pretty much for the finger here. And for the nail here, it looks very much like a rectangle at a moment, so let's add one in the middle, and if it breaks then I don't want it to use edge flow. So here we go, still we want to add in the middle here. Now this edge, to give nail more like a round shape, I want to push this one a little bit out like this, and then this edge over here. So overall we are setting a nail shape here, so a little bit like that. Okay, so if I hit 3, now I'll be able to see how this entire finger looks like all the way up to here. Alright, so now in next we're gonna use the same finger and duplicate onto the other fingers.